Happy New Year. Greetings. Howdy, howdy. Max has decided to join me in my lap, so you might get a better view of him. Hey, you're on YouTube, Max. And then you can see my shirt. It says, "Smoke 'em if you got 'em, Carolina Brothers Barbecue." No, I did not buy that in Carolina. That's a company up near my parents' house in Northern Virginia. I'm hoping you can hear me all right. So what's this video going to be about? It's going to be about lifestyle change coming here in 2023. Lay down, baby. He'll probably want to lick me in the face here. That seems to be what this dog does. He eases up and then he lick. And he'll lick my hands if they're down low. He's a terrier mix, and this is my house sit in North Carolina. We are on the back deck under a cover because it's raining outside, but let me introduce myself first, and then we'll get to that, what I'm going to do this year to make 2023 my healthiest year yet. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm Chip. This channel is CP59Fit, subtitle Unconventional Healthy Living Strategies. I generally talk about how to live a healthier life through the keto or carnivore diet, which I do, which is both a subset of the low-carb, healthy fat way of living. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much. If you've recently subscribed, thank you very much. If I've met you, oh, I got a pole right up the top of my head, don't I? I didn't situate that very well. And then there's a tree that grows kind of through. They've got a cutout in the tin roof for the tree to grow up. If you're new to the channel, this is your first time, I'd really appreciate if you hit that little face right over there. Or that's not a face on this one, it's a symbol. Red, white, and blue symbol. Hit that and it'll take you to the subscribe link. If you've been here before, please comment and hit that like button. In fact, boop that like button, as Nathan on Channel Maker says. That really helps the YouTube algorithm to share my videos and help me to grow, which you'll find out throughout this video why I need to grow this year, and not weight-wise. Okay, so now let's get to the nitty-gritty. If you follow me for a little while, you'll know that I've been studying under an occupational psychologist for the last year and a half, named Dr. Benjamin Hardy. He has a rather large YouTube presence. That seems to be that it's becoming mainly to sell his books. And that's all right. I mean, that's how he makes his money. If I had a book, I'd sell it on here too. In fact, all my life people have told me I ought to write a book because my life is rather interesting. What's changing in 2022? Well, let me go back to Dr. Hardy. One of the things he talks about is having a big 3. And if you have more than 3 goals, you really don't have any, because you can't concentrate if you have 10 to-dos. And so my keystone goal is to be metabolically, well, actually to be metabolically fit is one of my big 3. So what is my keystone? Oh, the keystone is to live the best life I can live this year, or to put things into place to live the best life I can live next year. So what are those 3 things going to be for this year? This is going to be a rather condensed video, because I will make other videos to specifically explain why I'm doing each of these things. But I've already mentioned number 1 is to be metabolically fit by my birthday at the end of April. So you say, what does metabolically fit mean? It means to have all the symptoms and signs of the metabolic syndrome out of my life. What are those signs? Borderline high blood pressure, a girth over 40 inches for a male, measured at the belly button, high triglycerides, low HDL, and high glucose, or insulin, really. But we really don't have an easy way to measure insulin, so of course the modern medical field has done what they always do, and they try to find a surrogate marker for what really matters. So they use fasting blood glucose, which is a poor surrogate. Some of my older videos have talked about that, and I will talk about it more in depth, but that's number 1. Number 2 is to get YouTube monetized. What I am lacking in that area is 1,000 subscribers. I have the 4,000 watch hours in the last 365 days. I don't have any strikes against me. I can set up the, what do they call it, two-step verification, you know, when you, like you have on your bank accounts. When you log in, then you get a text. Yeah, two-step verification. But anyway, because of my plans for 2024, which I'm not going to go into right now because we're in 2023, you will see that I need to be monetized by the end of this year. So concentrating on YouTube is becoming a high priority. And when I have house sits like this, when I have 2 months to work on it, that's going to be an enormous factor. In fact, let me tell you what I'm doing a little differently this year in the logistics side of things. And this comes from Dr. Hardy. It's time blocking, calendar blocking, I think some people call it. So basically, Mondays and Tuesdays are now for research and videos. Even though it's Wednesday morning and I'm making this video, I did spend a lot of time researching the last 2 days and actually working on these three what do you call them? My three big items for the year. And the third one is to reduce stenosis in my arteries. That one's going to take a whole video on its own, but it's starting now. In fact, I'm already 12 days into my first 3-day fast for 2023. You haven't heard me talk about fasting much. I've done some intermittent fasting in the past, you know, a 12-hour window, an 18-hour window of not eating. But that's some of the things I've been studying the last few days, is the benefits of longer-term fasting. And I guess one thing I need to say, since most of you are watching me to learn how to lose weight, I have learned weight loss is a side effect. It shouldn't be the primary goal. And that's why I have carefully worded some of these big three, like to be metabolically healthy. If I'm metabolically healthy, my ideal weight will be a side effect and it will just happen. And if I reduce the stenosis, then I will be eating in such a way that I will be losing weight, so it also will be a side effect of that. Hence the reason there's 2 reasons I started a fast last night. I was going to do it starting New Year's Eve after dinner. But either on New Year's Eve or the day before, I booked a Lifeline screening down in Raleigh, which I need to be at in a few hours. And you have to be fasted before that. So I thought, why am I going to fast the night of the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd? And then I have to be 12 hours fasted the morning or afternoon of the 4th. I'm not going to break a fast when I have to be in a fast the next day. So I thought, just move it back a couple days. You can do it right. So I've kind of been cleaning out the carbs out of the cupboards the last couple days. I need to get a drink of water. I had bought this bottle of water because I had intended to be riding the Amtrak from Raleigh to Charlotte and back before my appointment this morning. So I bought that big bottle at Dollar Tree yesterday and had it in the refrigerator. Of course, I have to be water fasted to go into this Lifeline screening in Raleigh this afternoon. So I'm just drinking the water this morning, even though on the 3-day fast, it's called a water fast because you only drink water. But the doctor I'm following says you can also drink black tea or black coffee. So after the test this afternoon, I'll probably get some tea, either made or pick up my jug full at Sheetz. So anyway, you see, I don't have my metal cup today. I actually have Pure Life water that's supposed to be reverse osmosis and enhanced with minerals. And of course, they have a reverse osmosis on their well here also. So I'll refill it with that because I do plan to take the train trip tomorrow. That will be posted on the Chillin' with Chip channel. So let me go just real on the surface of these 3 goals. I said to be metabolically fit. I did not say I want to be at a certain weight by the end of the year. I do honestly believe that if I become metabolically fit, which would include, in my case, lowering my triglycerides. They did go down. You know, I had a blood test December the 19th, and I haven't gone over the figures with that. My triglycerides dropped significantly, but they did not get into the normal range, which is a maximum of 150. I think they hit 175, which, considering I've been in the 500s at some points in this journey, 175 is pretty good. My HDL was not quite 40, it was 37. I have had it up to 42 before. It needs to be above 40. And then they're going to measure my girth at the screening today, but when I did it yesterday it was 44, and it needs to be under 40 to get rid of that notch of the metabolic syndrome. So you have to have 3 of the 5 to be classified as having metabolic syndrome. There was a time I had cholesterol or HDL cholesterol over 40 and triglycerides under 150, so I made the video that I had reversed metabolic syndrome. But according to Dr. Mabry's warning, and he was correct, that if I went back to eating the way I did, that I would lose those gains and would become have metabolic syndrome again. So technically at this moment, January 4th, 2023, approximately 10:30 in the morning, I do officially have metabolic syndrome again because I have 3 of the 5. I don't have blood sugar problems, and I don't have blood pressure problems. If you're not familiar with Lifeline screening, the main reason I signed up is for a carotid Doppler. Your carotid arteries go up both sides of your neck, and when I had the stroke 7 years ago, they found that my internal right carotid, you have 2 big ones coming from your heart, then they split into 2 and go up to 4 sections of your brain. But there is overlap, so that my right internal is fully occluded is not a huge problem, but then they wanted to do this test every year to make sure the other 3 are not closing up. And my opinion is that cholesterol is not the problem. Oxidation is the problem, and you get oxidation from seed oils, what we call vegetable oils in today's society. But they're not from vegetables. They just used vegetable because they were pushing eat more fruits and vegetables. So if you've heard eat more fruits and vegetables and we call it vegetable oil, you're going to make the assumption, oh, it's like a vegetable, so it's good. No, it ain't good at all. It's a polyunsaturated fat, which means it's very unstable, which means it causes oxidation in your body because it's oxidized on the shelf before you use it. Throw out every seed oil you have. I'm actually looking for some ghee right now. I think there's one of them frou-frou stores downtown where they sell the organic meat and all the weird stuff, for lack of a better word, compared to the quote-unquote normal stuff that's at like a Food Line or a Safeway or Kroger's or Harris Teeter or whatever grocery chain you have. The stuff that I guess the enlightened like to buy is at what I call these frou-frou stores. So there's one downtown, and I actually got omega-3 enhanced brown eggs, pasture raised, cheaper than I could get a dozen white eggs, factory raised at Food Line yesterday. So I bought them down there. I think $1 a dozen cheap. Eggs have gotten out of this world. I wish I could find somebody that I could go to their house and get them that grew them in their yard and had the chickens in their yard. Anyway, they're also going to do a brachial test where they put blood pressure cuffs on your ankles and your arms to make sure you have a good pulse in your legs, and they're going to check for osteoporosis. They're going to check for arterial fibrillation. My mother has that. We think that's why she's had her strokes and mini strokes. I've never been diagnosed. I've had that ankle and blood pressure cuff test done before, and I passed. So I should still be good. Then in addition to that, I've ordered a six health points and a CRP test. CRP is inflation. I should be very low in inflation, but I'm sorry, not inflation, inflammation. I did that in the last video. Inflammation, which is deadly. When your insulin is low, your inflammation is usually low. But since I've been kind of eating extra carbs yesterday, it may be a little bit higher. I'm thinking I will go strict carnivore. I'm going to go 100% carnivore after this test. Well, once I break the fast, which it'll be Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. So Friday night will be my 72-hour fast. And here come the rain. I love sitting under these tin roofs. And the 100% carnivore is because I saw a post from a doctor that was reposting another doctor's post on Instagram, where the second doctor had a patient that had a 99% blockage. They say mine is 100 because they don't see any blood going through. But in 1 year of strict carnivore, he reduced his blockage, and I think he's in his 70s. He reduced his blockage from 99 to 32%, which meant he had a free-flowing artery again. I haven't been able to find any empirical data that proves that. I haven't been able to find any studies that prove that. But if I'm 85, 95% carnivore already, is it really going to hurt anything to go the 100%? I'll have to cut out my sourdough toast in the morning, and I won't be able to have the diet drinks, which I've been trying to get off of anyway, not because they have any sugar, but because they have an insulin response. It also said that this patient X had been keto for 2 years, and that wasn't strong enough to clear the stenosis. So I will be going back to this Lifeline more often than I went to JPS. The one test, the carotid Doppler at JPS, they charged me $1,600 as a cash pay or an insurance customer. This one I get all 5 of the tests for $170, $179 I think. So basically 10 times less. So I could theoretically do 10 tests a year for what I was paying for one test. And I will put in this caveat: after 7 years of testing, my arteries have not closed, the 3 that are open, have not closed down any. And when I say any, all JPS can say is they are less than 50% closed. Well, that sounds like I'd call it a tornado siren if I was in Texas. What is today, Wednesday? Maybe it's 11 o'clock. Maybe it's a test. They always tested it at 1 o'clock on Wednesday in Texas. Usually when it goes up and down, it's a test. If it just stays. Oh, that's from the golf course. They're closing it down for something 10 miles away. Maybe thunderstorms. We are supposed to get rain today. So they're telling people to return to the pro shop. On the other side of this 100 acres, there's a road. Well, I think the golf course comes on this side of the road, but the clubhouse is on the other side. That's good to know that that emergency system is in work at the golf course. Maybe I'll stop by there on the way to Raleigh and say, "What's the buzzer for?" But of course, I was talking about the man who stenosis went down. It's called arterial sclerosis, is what I technically have, and I think it's called CAD, cardiac something disease, arterial, coronary artery disease, even though it's not in my coronary arteries that I'm aware of. They've never tested that. I'm going to ask them today about a CAC, a cardiac artery calcium score. That's usually in a CAT scan, so they probably don't have that. I think they just have the ultrasound at the test today, and I'll do a blood test for the CRP. So I'm kind of looking forward. I'm going to try to find the Adapt Your Life Academy's office, which I saw from my email yesterday is also in Raleigh. That is the program that Dr. Westman runs. I'm trying to get into Duke to see Dr. Say hi, Max. There you go. I need to brush you so you don't have the David Bowie hairstyle. So anyway, this year is going to be very exciting. I should get to my ideal weight, even though that's not the goal. It'll just mean I'm healthy if you see me there. Anyway, thank you. God bless. Please hit that button. Please subscribe below, comment, and check out my Koji link below, and you can find the train video on Chillin' with Chip tomorrow. I will be going from now Durham instead of Raleigh. I don't have to drive all the way to Raleigh. The train comes within 10 miles of here. at Durham. I'll go Durham to Charlotte, sit in the station, or maybe go to a gym if I can find one within walking distance. I think I have a 50-minute turnaround if everything's on time. Then I'll ride the train back because I may ride the Amtrak to Denver in February for the house that I have out there. And I want to kind of give it a longer test run than the 30 minutes I did from Fort Worth to Dallas. This is about a 3-hour ride from Durham to Charlotte and back. And it's owned by, well, I'll talk about all that on the channel tomorrow. Thanks. God bless. Happy New Year. Talk to you soon. Let's all get healthy together in 2023. I'll give you more information in future weeks. Bye-bye.